Welcome back to Broken Bobby's Transformation Page. If you are new to the page, in 1990 I became involved in the drug gang world. From 92 to '06, I spent a lot of time incarcerated. I tell these stories to let you know it don't have to be you. If you're young and thinking about trying something or you're figuring out how to get out, these are my stories of this lifestyle and how it affected me, and eventually I got out and transformed my life. So let's get into today's story. All right, guys, as you can see by the thumbnail, this is Danny Masterson, What Happened. This has been in the news. It's been reported by many YouTube channels, and this was a topic I really didn't even want to get into, but I keep seeing it pop up, so I figured I'd give you guys my take on it. So if you are new to the channel, subscribe, smash that like button, drop a comment, and share this video if you know somebody that may be interested in this sort of content. Also, don't forget to hit that notification bell so when I drop a new video, you'll be informed and you can check it out when you're ready. So Danny Masterson, famous for that '70s show. I don't know if you guys remember that show. I think a lot of people do. I was never really a big fan of that, but I did watch it some. And so yeah, he was on that show, and he was working on a Netflix comedy show, The Ranch, when charges were brought up in 2017, 2018, and he was immediately relieved of his duties there. The original charges were 3 counts of rape, that dreaded R word. And allegedly these events happened in 2002 and 2003. 2017, 2018, like I said, charges were originally brought up. And he finally, in May of 2023, after a couple of hung juries, he was convicted of 2 of those charges, 2 of those counts, and he was sentenced to 30 years to life. So let's get into a little bit of the backstory on this. Now, Danny Masterson was part of the Scientology group, and apparently they did the best they could to cover up these crimes, allegedly. So the victims claim that they were being stalked and followed, and even one of the victims' dogs got poisoned and had to be euthanized. There was a Leah Remini from King of Queens fame did a series on Scientology in the aftermath, and you can go and check those out if you want to learn more about Scientology. They were informative, but not really my thing. I watched some of those when they happened just because I knew who she was from the King of Queens show. But she did a 2-hour special on, this in particular, the art allegations, and with talking to the victims and how they had been stalked and all the other stuff. And while the LADA was investigating, they asked the network not to air this 2-hour special on that. I'm thinking they probably didn't want the narrative to get spun in public opinion, because it makes it harder to get a conviction when there's a lot of information out there. OJ is a good example, and there's several others. But so yeah, like, this was really messy situation. One of the things I wonder is, if these crimes happened in 2002 and 2003, why weren't they reported until 2017? That seems a little odd. There would be no way to collect evidence or anything. They have kits to check for those R crimes. But, maybe Scientology did get in the way of some of that stuff. I really don't know. I'm not very familiar with Scientology, just what I've seen videos on and read about. So ultimately, on December 27th, 2023, Denny Masterson was sent to Delano for reception. Okay, now this is North Kern State Prison. This is where I did my time. I highly doubt he was put on a main line just due to his celebrity and his crimes. His crimes are, bottom of the barrel, basically. Everybody would raise their hand to get a piece of him, basically, and stick something hard in him, basically. So uh, it was alleged that Danny ended up on suicide watch, which basically was a way to get himself isolated from the general population. And other YouTube channels have reported that the GBG, if you're not familiar, that's the Gay Boy Gangsters. That's a sensitive needs yard disruptive group, I guess you would say. And from my understanding, that is the GBG is gay inmates that came together to not be victimized on these yards. So I've never done time with a gay boy gangster. Never met one. There was an MSNBC special a long time ago. I think it was Lockup in different California prisons, and they did a feature on them, and I thought that was the strangest thing. But it is what it is. So it's widely being reported that they had put a hit out on him, a green light, if you will. A lot of people say that they're not really a group that you need to worry too much about. Now, I mean, it's California prison. California prison is a violent place. So, but I will say this, if you are just a regular inmate that don't have much of a hustle, you would definitely want to hang your hat on Danny Masterson. And, word of things like this follows you. So every time you land on a yard, people be like, "Oh, you're the one that hit that guy with the R charge." Danny Masterson, basically. So like that would bring you some fame and notoriety amongst the homeboys. But there were a lot of rumors that he was going to be sent to the PHU in Corcoran. The PHU is the Protective Housing Unit, and this is a very small group of individuals that make it into the PHU. From what I understand, it's a small corridor in the shoe area of Corcoran State Prison, and it's very restrictive. And like you are basically untouchable there. Charles Manson was housed there for a long time, so that would have been a great place for him, I guess, to keep him safe. But ultimately, it looks like he ended up in California Men's Colony in San Luis Obispo. And from what I hear, this is a super soft yard, SNY type of thing. They send cops and ex-judges and people like that there. So, that's probably going to be a safe place as far as that goes. But, I mean, ultimately, if he committed these crimes, then he definitely has something coming. But I'm sure administration don't want to have to deal with the headache of explaining why he was killed in prison. So that's my take on Danny Masterson. Like I said, I really didn't want to do anything on this guy, but I keep seeing him pop up, so I figured I'd give you guys my take. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and don't look at the mountain, just start climbing.